So we're in the How to Read the Bible series. We are in intro. Okay, we done lyric. Now ancient, this is like my favorite. This one's the coolest. All right, can you get closer? JJ? Thank you, friend.
So the Bible is a collection of books written in different literary styles. The
All right.
Bible is a collection of.
If it's going to be distraction, I need you to turn off the monitor.
I'm the one who's focused.
Okay. If you can't find yourself being distracted, then you turn off the monitor. Okay, JJ? I'm being serious. Can you be focused?
Huh? Sorry, I was zoned out, yeah.
Can you be focused? Okay.
So the Bible is a collection of books written in different literary styles like narrative, poetry, and prose. And most of us are familiar with these kinds of literature.
Yeah, we all know a narrative when we see one, like The Hunger Games or The Great Gatsby.
And most people can recognize poetry, whether it's Walt Whitman or the songs of Bob Dylan.
And every day we're surrounded by prose and news articles or essays.
Now, all of these examples are modern American literature in that they came from this time period and this region of the world.
But there's also medieval English literature from another place in time, or ancient Greek writings from this place in time.
So each time period and culture produces its own unique kind of literature.
And in order to read the Bible well, we need to keep in mind that it comes from this part of the world and was produced in this basic period of time.
So what's unique about ancient Jewish literature?
Well, a key feature is that it lacks a lot of the details that modern readers have come to expect in stories and poems.
And this makes it seem really simple.
But actually, it's very sophisticated literature. Every detail that is given matters.
And that's great, but the lack of detail means that stories are often loaded with ambiguities. I mean, take one of the first stories, Adam and Eve in the garden. Where did this talking snake come from? And why did God allow him there? Why didn't Adam and Eve die on the spot like God said they would? And who's this offspring of the woman who will destroy the snake but is bitten by it?
Yeah, so many puzzles in this story. And some of these are questions that we have and that are not important to what the author is focusing on. But some of these ambiguities are intentional.
Intentional? Won't that lead to bad interpretations? People filling in the gaps with their own answers?
Well, that's a risk the biblical authors took in writing this way. We all tend to impose our own cultural assumptions onto the Bible, but they apparently thought the risk was worth it. These oddities are really invitations into an adventure of reading and discovery.
What do you mean?
Well, for example, the strange promise about the offspring of the woman crushing and being bitten by the snake. That word offspring is a clue to pay attention to genealogies, which, lo and behold, run all through the biblical narrative. They trace the lineage from Eve all the way to King David and his offspring. And in the New Testament, Jesus is connected to the offspring of this royal line. Now, when you read the prophets, Isaiah connected this king to the suffering servant who would die on behalf of his people. And then, in the book of Revelation, there's this symbolic vision. And can you guess? It's about a woman and her offspring. It's Jesus and his followers who conquer the dragon by giving up their lives.
Yeah, so each part of the story there is loaded with ambiguities, but altogether, it makes sense.
And this is the literary genius of the Bible. It forces you to keep reading and then interpret each part in light of the others.
This is feeling complicated. I don't know if I can do all that.
Well, you're actually not expected to notice all of this by yourself or all at once. This dense way of writing forces you to slow down and then read carefully, embarking on this interactive discovery process through the whole biblical narrative over a lifetime of reading and rereading.
Ah, okay. Meditation literature.
Yeah, in Psalm 1, we read about the ideal Bible reader. It's someone who meditates on the scriptures day and night. In Hebrew, the word meditate means literally to mutter or speak quietly. The idea is that every day for the rest of your life, you slowly, quietly read the Bible out loud to yourself, and then go talk about it with your friends, pondering the puzzles, making connections, and discovering what it all means. And as you let the Bible interpret itself, something remarkable happens. The Bible starts to read you. Because ultimately, the writers of the Bible want you to adopt this story as your story.
So this ancient Jewish writing style, it must create unique types of narrative and poetry and discourse.
Yes, and we'll explore all of those literary styles starting next with biblical narrative.
All right. All right. So every culture generally has their own writing, writing literature, writing styles. And so we could just get lost. Like if we are here 2,400 years, heck, probably older, especially when it comes to the Old Testament, we're far away from when it was originally written. We're far away from the culture. So how we write. Do you need him to stop being on your chair? Okay. How we write, how we do literature, that a lot of times when we read Jewish literature, do we like just try to study the Jewish literature, let its style read to us, or do we assume American literature on Jewish literature? Generally, most of the time, we assume American literature on the Jewish literature. That's why it looks so foreign and archaic to a lot of readers. But, so in Jewish literature, is it full of like a lot of detail? No, it's usually pretty simple. But due to its like, because it doesn't fill with a bunch of detail, does that mean that it is dumbed down? No, it is very, what kind of literature? Sophisticated. What does sophisticated mean? Yeah, it's deep. Yeah. So it'll be like, if I'm playing Rocket League, so like here's the difference between like American and Jewish literature. Imagine I'm playing Rocket League and I'm trying to play Rocket League as if I'm playing Minecraft. I keep going to the wall and I keep trying to break down the wall with my car. Do you think I'm going to get anywhere in Rocket League? No. So we have to take the Jewish literature and read it as the authors intended it. Otherwise, we're going to make some we're going to get this have some really just funny stuff going on. Like there are like there's a lot of reading into because we're expecting it to be very detailed, but the ambiguity speaks a lot. Yep.
That's a cactus. What do you mean? That ain't no cactus. What do you want about?
And so it does like, so the writers, they want you to like take a look at everything they share. And so when it talks about that her seed will destroy the serpent, and what did the serpent do to Adam and Eve? Yeah. It tempted them, and so it ruled. Because what is humanity supposed to do? They're supposed to rule over the world, rule over the animals. But they hear this.
No.
So they gave rulership to whatever this animal is. No, well, actually, we listen to it, and so the hope is here it talks about the seed. Eve's seed will crush the serpent. And so seed is genealogy, in which now in the Jewish literature, we follow, and this even means the gospel is written by Jewish people. And so now we follow the genealogy, which ultimately leads to King Jesus, who is the seed that crushed the serpent, but yet died. Because the serpent is always, you know what the serpent is? It is that force that's always calling you to compromise. Like, if Jesus was like any other earthly king, he would have called down the angels and slaughtered the Romans. But Jesus, how did Jesus show power and rulership? By dying, by serving. And that's what makes Jesus so cool, is he didn't. There's no other king that is like him. All right, so now that's good. We got a resection. Yeah. No. 2 sections, the full day. Read. All right, Jason, recap as much as you remember about Esther. What we learned about Esther. Okay, do you want me to recap? Okay, so the Jewish people, are they in their homeland or are they in exile? They're in exile, right. So King Xerxes, he's a Persian ruler. He is ruling over them. Now, Vashti, his first wife, didn't listen to him when he says, come here and dance for my men. And she was like, no! I won't entertain your men. Yep. And so like she shows like this open defiance. But then he brought the court. And then what did the court and him decide to do to Queen Vashti? Well, she still lives in the court, but she's deposed of her queenness. Yeah, she no longer holds the queen title. And so then King Xerxes sends his henchmen to go gather all the beautiful ladies. And one of those beautiful ladies was... Yeah, but what's her name? It's the name of the book. There you go. I know. I'm giving you hints where to look. But yeah. So one of the ones who won the Girl Beautiful Kidnap pageant was Esther. So she became queen. Now there is the villain Haman. Now Esther's stepfather, adopted father, like uncle father, yeah, will not bow down to Haman. We don't know why he won't bow down to Haman, but Haman's kind of like, hey, he will not bow down to Haman. And so Haman's response was he got the court, he got King Xerxes to agree. What was the response? Since Haman will not bow down, what was Haman's response to all the Jews? Kill, kill, kill. Yep, kill and loot. And so then here comes Mordecai to Esther going, he's tearing it up to close. Like, even though they don't know you're a Jewish, you're an Israelite, you're Jewish, you're a Judahite, like, death is coming. But yet Yahweh will save us, even if you do nothing. So then she's like, I'm going to come to the king. I want to walk up to the king on his throne. Can just anyone walk up to the king on the throne? No. So... Yep. So you could be killed. The king has to lay out the staff to pardon. Yep. They could be slayed. Right. There you go. All right. Now here we are. She asked Mordecai to pray the fast. She's going to walk up to the king. Yep. To pray and fast that she doesn't die by walking up to the king. Yep. All right. And the girl who knows how to work her man. Esther chapter 5, verse 1 through 14. King Jesus, your Holy One from Amazing. We just look to you. We thank you that power is through serving. We thank you that we can celebrate birthdays. We can just enjoy good food. We're looking forward to good food later. We're enjoying good food now. As Broheim has attested, I guess he had a pretty delicious sandwich. And we thank you for Taste Buds. We thank you that in your power, always serving, always crafting for us to enjoy the good life. We lacked a good life because we as humanity has said, no, we're not going to look to your wisdom. And so we look to you, King Jesus. Before we read, one in Father's name, Amen. I wasn't thinking about cheese balls at the time. Okay. Yeah. All right. Next time you pray, you could be thankful for cheese balls. All right. So, all right, we ready? All right.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
All right. All right. On the third day. All right. Let's be serious so we can go through this. All right. Let's serious up. I mean, the girl who knows how to work her man. On the third day, Esther dressed royally and stood in the inner courtyard of the king's house. On the third day, Esther dressed royally and stood in the inner courtyard of the king's house, facing the king's palace, while the king was sitting on his royal throne in the royal house, facing the entrance to the house. When the king saw Queen Esther staying in the courtyard, she found favor in his eyes, and the king extended to Esther the gold scepter in his hands. Esther drew near and touched the head of the scepter. The king said to her, "What do you have on your mind, Queen Esther? What is your request? Up to half the kingdom it will be given you." Esther said, if it is pleasing to the king, may the king and Haman come today to the banquet I have made for him. The king said, "Get Haman to hurry to do what Esther says." So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had made. The king said to Esther at the wine banquet, "What is your petition? It will be given you. What is your request? Up to half the kingdom it will be done." Esther replied, "My petition, my request, if I found favor in the king's eyes, and if it is pleasing to the king to grant my petition, to do my request, may the king and Haman come to the banquet I will make for them, and tomorrow I will act in accordance with the king's word." Haman went out that day rejoicing and happy in heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai at the king's gate, and he did not get up or tremble because of him, Haman was filled with rage at Mordecai. So Esther, she made her request. The request was, "Come to my banquet." And then the king's like, what did the king say? "What do you want? Up to half the kingdom I'll give you." Not in that way, but definitely. But she's like, "Actually, come tomorrow to my banquet, and then I'll make the request." And so Haman is like, "Yeah, I'm hanging out with the king, hanging out with his wife. Life's good." And he's like, woohoo, walking all happy back home, and he sees Mordecai. And Char, what has happened when he sees Mordecai? Rage. All right, so Haman filled with rage at Mordecai. But Haman controlled himself and came to his house. He sent and brought his friends and his wife Zeresh. Haman recounted to them the splendor of his wealth and the number of his sons, and about how the king had promoted him and elevated him above the officials in the king's staff. And Haman said, "Indeed, Queen Esther did not bring anyone to the banquet with the king that she made, except me. Tomorrow, too, I am summoned to her with the king. But all this is not the same to me every time I see Mordecai the Judahite sitting at the king's gate." His wife, Zeresh, said to him, with all his friends, a gallows. So you guys know what a gallows is? So, for Persians to execute their enemies, they literally will make a long spike pole and literally impale them. And so his wife is suggesting you should make a long pole for when you destroy the Judahites, that's including Mordecai, you can then impale Mordecai on the pole. So yeah, so definitely not good. So his wife Zerah said to him with all his friends, "A gallows should be made 50 cubits high, and in the morning say to the king that they should hang Mordecai on it, and go with the king to the banquet happy." The word seemed good to Haman, and he made the gallows. So, in describing the possibility of a non-miraculous miracle, so you guys remember what he explained what a non-miraculous miracle is, right? Yesterday. So that's when coincidence happens. Okay. A non-miraculous miracle is when coincidence happens. It's not something grand, like when I said my friend got literally got in a car accident that decimated both cars, and yet he survived with nothing on him. The cars caught on fire and just got absolutely destroyed. And the angel saved him. Like that's a miracle. But a non-miraculous miracle is like being here and now reading the Bible with you and having all this equipment. Coincidentally, it just happened. And thanks be to Christ. But that's a non-miraculous miracle where things just happened and it's something you give glory to God to. I spoke of an experience of my own. An experience on part of a Gentile Christian. A Jewish scholar I know. So now he's talking about his miraculous miracle, okay? You guys ready? His coincidence awesome moment. A Jewish scholar I know has described his interaction with Esther in quite different terms because the story is a story directly about his own people. I can see the book as illustrating ways in which God might show faithfulness to me and expect faithfulness from me. But my relationship with the book is not as direct as that of this Jewish writer. So he's talking about this writer, like this writer is like he's experiencing the blessing today because we're going to see how the Judahites did not get absolutely destroyed as Haman wanted. And so it's a blessing every time as a Jewish writer reads it. So Christians may also see as illustrating ways in which God might show faithfulness to individual Christians and churches under persecution in ways in which they are called to faithfulness. But our being able to appreciate the story in that way emerges from our relationship with a Jew who was a descendant of the Jews of Esther's day and are being adopted to his people and to his people. All right. There is a terrible irony in the fact that the pogroms of the late centuries, I think it means pilgrims, but pogroms, is that a word? Let's look it up. Pogroms. Oh, it's a word. Is a violent riot incited with the aim of massacring or expelling an ethnic or religious group, particularly Jews. Oh gosh, that is a terrible word. That means terrible things. No, it means like, so it means starting a riot, and I'm German, okay? So Broheim starts a riot and wants to, and throughout that riot, a bunch of Germans are killed. That will be a pogrom. It means a riot happens with the goal of just decimating a ethnicity. This has happened multiple times towards Jewish people. All right. So there is a terrible irony in the fact that the pogroms of the late 19th and early 20th century and the Holocaust of the mid-20th century were undertaken by Christians, and that these events were but a climactic episode in the history of Christian anti-Semitism over the centuries. The Holocaust location in Western Europe, its temporal proximity to people living in the 20th and 21st century, and above all, its nature as an attempt to eliminate the Jewish people, gave the book of Esther new significance in the 20th century. I do not imply that the book's meaning changed. Its meaning issued from what its author wrote for the community to which he or she belonged. But what it came to signify for other people in other contexts changed. Perhaps a better way to put it is to note that we now have grievously easy access to the book's own meaning as a story about the attempt actually to eliminate the Jewish people. Admittedly, there have been a number of Christian stances in relation to the book, as well as seeing it as providing models for the way their own relationship with God worked. Christians have seen it as unworthy of a place in Scripture. One great Old Testament scholar declared that a Christian preacher could never take his or her text from Esther, but he made that declaration before the issues that the Holocaust poses for Christian and Jewish faith came to be perceived. When Haman became the first person who dreamed of a final solution to the Jewish problem, his dream was frustrated because a Jewish man emboldened a Jewish girl to take seriously her solidarity with her people and her special position with the responsibility and potential it had given her. It was in Adolf Hitler who expressly spoke of this dream that there should be a final solution of the Jewish problem. In his speech to the Reichstag on January 3rd, 1939, he declared, so you guys know what Hitler did, right? In the Reich. Broheim, do you know what Hitler did in the Reich? They set out to absolutely decimate the Jewish people. And this happened about 100 years ago. I mean, like 80, so not too long ago. There's a lot of people who are still alive who lived through this. This is part of World War II, okay? And so, yeah, I mean, it's about 100 years ago. Well, actually, like 80, World War II.
It's like 75, 85. No, it's either 75 or 85.
My brain is not wanting to remember
Wait,
dates
no,
now.
it's 75.
World War II dates. Okay, December 1st, 1939 to September 2nd, 1945. So about 80 years ago. It was a brutal war. Because there was not just Hitler, but there was Hitler, there was Italy, Mussolini, I think his name was, who was the dictator at the time. And then there was Japan. And I forgot who the leader's name was in Japan. They were called, oh, yeah. We're just talking about important history right now.
Yeah, let me do some really quick math.
All right, he's requested that we start. So, sorry, my friend. So, all right, so this is what Hitler declared, all right? The guy who went out to decimate Jews. Okay, you ready? In the course of my life, I have very often been a prophet, and I have usually been ridiculed for it. Gosh. During the time I struggled for power, it was, in the first instance, the Jewish race which only received my prophecies with laughter when I said that I would one day take over the leadership of the state, and with it that of the whole nation, and that I would then, among many other things, settle the Jewish problem. Their laughter was uproarious. But I think that for some time now they have been laughing on the other side of their face. Where Haman failed, Hitler almost succeeded. Let's just take this moment seriously as we're talking about genocide. And we need to be honest and not... This is a moment of seriousness. So, how many Jews died in the Holocaust? Let's look at it's like in the millions. Give me a number. 6 million. Okay. So when Hitler, Haman failed, but Hitler almost exterminated 6 million Jews. This is not, yeah. So this is a moment we've been invited to take seriously. All right. While one could not attribute that near success to the presence of someone like Esther in Hitler's circle who failed to act in the way she did, the message of the book includes a challenge to her descendants to be prepared to take seriously her solidarity with their people and her willingness to take the risk of making use of her special position with the responsibility and potential it gave her. It also includes a challenge to Gentiles. So I don't think any of us have Jewish descendants, so we're all technically Gentiles. So this is a challenge for us, okay? Are we listening? It also includes a challenge to Gentiles who care about her descendants and who, in some sense, identify with her people because they have been grafted into this olive tree, as Romans 11 puts it. So if we declare allegiance to King Jesus has grafted into the saving power that Yahweh has for the nation. So we're grafted in. There were indeed such righteous Gentiles in Europe who took action that saved Jews, some of whom paid with their own lives for doing so. Jews have no reason to assume that anti-Semitism died with Hitler. And Gentiles who care about the Jewish people need to be ready to follow Esther rather than Haman. Esther, having won Xerxes' favor, made her initiative less dangerous than it would be for some people. But she was not wrong when she pointed out to Mordecai the risk involved in her approaching Xerxes, giving the conventions of imperial protocol. She had no way of being sure that her approach would issue in his extending the scepter to her rather than taking offense and ordering her execution. Her petition and request is not merely that Xerxes and Haman should come to dinner. In issuing that invitation, she is observing the proper standards of Middle Eastern graciousness rather than rushing straight into a shopping list of requests. Let's have dinner first. We can talk about that later. Xerxes is doing something similar in offering to give her up to half of his kingdom. should be wise and not take that offer too literally. At the same time, working in this way. Hello, welcome home. We're finishing reading. All right. At the same time, working in this way and then repeating the strategy the next. Hey, Bailey, close the door. All right, hey, love. Welcome home. We are reading Esther, and he's talking about the Holocaust and Nice, and we're talking about Holocaust anti-Semitism, so this is a moment of seriousness. Thank you, love. At the same time, working in this way and then repeating the strategy the next day encourages the development of a relationship with the king that will surely, in due course, make it possible for him to resist her actual request. Indeed, her words in issuing the second invitation invite him to recognize that fact. And the fact, she says, so this is Middle Eastern protocol. Like, she is working him up to not deny her request. So it is like king protocol whenever someone comes up to say, what do you want up to half my kingdom? To someone who, but she's not supposed to take that literally. But then in hospitality culture, by her inviting him to dinner twice, she is just working it up to not be denied. If you'd like to come to dinner again tomorrow, I'll tell you my request then, and you will grant it then, won't you? And by accepting the dinner invitation, he has made an even more explicit commitment to doing so. Maybe Xerxes recognizes this fact and is fine with it because he's a bit besotted with Esther. Maybe poor Haman perceives it too, but he has no idea of its implication for him. Ironically, his pleasure is spoiled only by another experience of having Mordecai fail to recognize his importance. He does not recognize that he has a much bigger problem looming. He focuses rather on trying to restore his wounded pride by reminding himself and his family how much he has to be proud of. But they have no more insight than he does. So that even before going to bed, he makes a gallows or a pole for the exposure of a body after an execution. Literally, it is a tree. After cubits, 50 cubits is 75 feet or 35 meters. So, okay, so how long is this pole? 75 feet. That is a tall pole to impale your enemies. They literally like dip and they'll like impale them sometimes and lift it up like so yeah, Persian execution style. So yeah, so the thing is, so this is how it was in the ancient world and how it is in a lot of the world. Someone you hate, when you kill them, you want it to be public and as gruesome as possible to express the message.
I hate them.
I hate them, yes. And also, if any of you guys step up to me,
You will. This will happen to you.
that's why the cross is so gruesome. The cross is.
Wait, so that's it. I hate this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you step up to me, this is gonna happen
Yeah.
to you. That's what I mean.
Yeah. That's why the cross was never as actually like if we're going, let's go to Jesus, who's a Jew. The cross was never for Roman citizens. So imagine here, okay, we're United States citizens, okay? The cross would never been used on really, really, really special circumstances. But the cross would never have been used on American citizens. But you know who would have been used on? No, well, Jesus, yeah. But like, let's say the immigrant, the non-documented immigrant. It's for people who are non-citizens. But here, this poll is for people who disrupt public order. Because back then, if you are disrupting the status quo, you're most likely going to get killed.
In a 5 or 6-story building. What?
Yeah, so, because empires, they want peace, and if you disrupt peace, if you disrupt the status quo,
They're gonna be like,
yeah, in that culture, you don't walk down the street with a mohawk. You'll be killed. Because again, you're disrupting the status quo. Like there are protocols within the culture. Like here in the West, we have these thing called individualism, where everyone has their due rights. And this time, back then, there was no concept of individualism. A person with their due rights. All right. So let's finish up. 50 cubits is 75 feet or 35 meters, the height of a 5 or 6 story building. So it's quite a gallows and quite an indication of Haman's determination to shame Mordecai's. Again, it's shame. It's like the biggest way. It's like modern day. It's like above and beyond. It's killing them and then blasting them on social media to get his revenge for Mordecai's dishonoring of him. Whether or not it is what Haman actually attends, and whether or not this is another indication that the book of Esther delights in hyperbole. So we don't know if it actually was 75 feet or it's hyperbole, which is making the numbers a lot larger to show like he's making a big pull. All right, friends, we talked a lot. We can start. All right, I'll be back.
These Beastmasters will beat every creature here into submission if they are.
I'm curious. So the screen was flickering. Screen was flickering when it was like low colors. So let's see if that. Actually, I'll test that later.
Stopped.
Branding the menfolk with a hot iron while they sleep again. Wonder what all that screaming was about. Overwhelming! Watch out, he's moving for you! To draw him out, use the Karagaths against his war cowl. The more Uruk that die by their shadowy bite, the better. Huge crowds. More outposts. The commander jumped all the way up on Uruk's back and stabbed it in the eye. What was that noise? We shouldn't have tortured them menfolk, sir. A day will come when nobody in this land even remembers it. From Toronto to Ravania. You indulge us doing it. That's our son Grog as usual. That's Tombhorn.
The Beast Tamer is dead, and with him, the Uruk's control of the shadowy creatures.
Cowards run away. Mordor is in no short supply of terrible tales, and few more dreadful than the Black Captains of Sauron. I have never laid eyes on them myself, but their descriptions to me are stuff of nightmares. A man trapped in perpetual agony in armor that does not grow with him. Another cursed for picking up the mace of Sauron after battle. And the mightiest among them, the Black Hand, is not spoken of in passing in these lands. May my beard grow ever longer ere I cross paths with these villains. I'll stick to hunting fairer game.
The dwarf shied from the Black Captains, as well he should. Only the Black Hand remains now, and I will finish him.
Kill his Paragon!
Oh. Ah. Oh, accident.
Or not.
Like pop up. Are you sure? I don't care enough. I don't even care about these side missions anymore. Just kill the Beastmasters. There's no experience. It's just unlock things. This is not even an RPG anymore. This is just a adventure, action adventure, which now you get to call it.
Sort this. I need to hunt something. Anything. Plenty of terrain up there.
I'm just gonna focus on the main. All this other side just feels busy work at this point.
I've got to warn the others. You'll have to flood his garrison with ghouls to set our enemies against each other.
Worst thing about the pigskins is why they always act tired.
Serve me. Mess? Oh, you have to clean up that mess. Huh? Yes, you clean up. Yeah, it is. Brother, Sean and Dwan. Love you, sweet kid. One more.
Gakuga.
Stop! Stop it! That's right, Gallo! I'm bigger than you! Don't hurt me, Crow! No, not that way!
Come on.
Hey! There you are! I've been waiting for this! Too many of us now! We'll meet again, Ranger! Stop me! No! My only friend! I smash you for this! Smash until dead! Never this beating! Oh, that won't hurt!
Stop moving!
How did that Uruk manage to tame a Grog? I hope they put a permanent end to such an alliance.
Oh, it's just the worst. That's the worst. Unnatural.
Slow down, dwarf. What are you ranting about this time?
The last of these new war chiefs, he's a ghoul keeper. Somehow he's controlling the little bastards. Worse, actually, I think he's friends with them.
Controlling them? An Uruk commanding a ghoul army?
Aye, it's so dirty.
What can be done? The ghouls are endless. We can't kill them all.
No, but, oh, shudder to say it. Hate to even think it. But, maybe...
Come on, out with it then.
Well, it's just that your power, you seem to be able to control everything. Uruks, Caragors, Graugs. Could you control the little scavengers, too?
You would have me control the ghouls as well? Isn't that a bit hypocritical?
Well, if by hypocritical you mean brilliant, then yes, it's very hypocritical. Look, no, it's disgusting. It's for a good cause. Nick, go control
Well, that's a start, I suppose. Let's keep going.
Oh, I can see them brushing up against you. I can feel them from here. This was a horrible idea.
Should be more of them. Something's not right.
Just keep knocking on their doors until they answer, Captain. Let's move!
Why? Fine. Very irritating to me.
Impressive. Disgusting, but impressive. I think we're ready to end this hunt. The Ghoul Keeper hides in an infested cave. Stalk in, steal away his pets, and kill him.
I don't know why I didn't consider dominating these creatures sooner.
There's seriously not a path.
Steal away his purse and kill him. I'll help from out here, Captain, but I'm not coming in. A dwarf unwilling to go underground. See what these ghouls have done to me.
What's going on? Are you okay, my lovelies?
Lovelies. That is more affectionate than I had anticipated.
Something's not right. Answer me, little dears. You leave them alone, you monster. They're mine. These ghouls are mine! However you've poisoned them, I will suck it out! Sharp fly. Babies are better off dead than in your thrall. We will avenge this virgin of our family.
Hurry! He's out here! If you're still alive! Glad to see you're in one piece. You're on that way.
Hey! No, not you! Isn't stealing away my lovelies enough for you? I'll tear you apart for what you've done!
Forsake the shadow!
That's turn it.
Once we kill...
This threat is over, Torvald. All these foul Beastmaster war chiefs have met their end.
We accomplished great things together, Captain.
We certainly have our moments, Dwarf. You even managed to do all right around those ghouls.
You know, Captain, I think I may have been too harsh on the little fiends. Those scampering monsters might not be so terrible after all. Can have their uses, at least.
Will you look at that? You can grow a little. Even if it's only emotionally.
Ooh, not your best, Talion. Well, I should be on my way. Blue Mountains are waiting.
Safe journeys, my friend.
Oh. Yeah, I don't care. Do the Blight Lord now.
Middle Earth is in great peril, Celebrin Moor.
Show me.
My mirror shows many things. Those that were, those that are, and those that may come to pass. Some things never come to be, unless those that behold the visions turn aside from their path to prevent them.
Dark Lord has the One Ring. I do not stand against him. Middle Earth will fall.
Take care, Silverhand. If you defeat Sauron and take the One, you may become something far worse.
Keep searching for the elf. Don't let him escape. Do not shame us. How did he escape the Dark Lord in the first place? Don't matter. Stop asking questions and keep your eyes open.
Sauron's army is without number. My kingdom lies in ruins and my family is in chains. And yet, in the One, I have a weapon that could reforge my fates and illuminate the path through this darkness.
There he is!
Bleed him! From the side! To traitors! I have a power greater than death. I will forge these Uruks into an army of my own. As the first Dark Lord tortured and corrupted the elves, I will redeem them in flame. They will be mine!
Oh.
If you skip. Big skins enough. Huddle together. I love it. Wait! I smell something. I don't care what it was. Well, it was. I see him, and it better stay away. Get right out. The pigskin is long gone. Maybe it was just rats. Stop talking then! Wait! I smell something. You will build a tower in my name. Erect a monolith for your bright lord in defiance of the shadow.
Oh. Snappers. The darkness is taking over. Oh. So these are the towers that were made.
Silverhand, you dare stay in Mordor. You think to challenge me here, but you will fail. Your spirit will never see the halls of Mandos.
Without the One Ring, you are nothing. I will tear down Barad-dûr and rebuild a Region in the ruins. Release my family, and I will let you serve me. Bringer of gifts.
Oh, it's a full-on experience. We have its own. You're gonna have to make me. What that? There are upgrades, alright. And looks like there are already upgrades mean nothing.
Captain says a patrol picked up some new.
Huh. Guess the weapon upgrades happen. Am I?
Somebody sneaking around?
Am I?
Nothing here.
Am I?
Things. Stay alert, just in case.
Am I? Am I?
After a battle, I need food and grog. Instead, we get nothing but a lot of noise from the boss. Submit! You're always so chubby. We're betrayed!
Return to me what is mine, betrayer. I taught you everything. Without me, you are nothing. The ring will never serve you. Every moment you resist, your family will suffer.
Silence, deceiver. I forged the rings. I perfected the one. You will bow before me. We'll have to find a fight somewhere else then. I say it!
Return to me what is mine, betrayer. I taught you everything. Without me, you are nothing. The ring will never serve you. Every moment you resist, your family will suffer.
Silence, deceiver. I forged the rings. I perfected the one. You will bow before me. I don't know what it was. Must have been nothing. Well, I hope you're right.
Did I just hear something? Just the wind, I suppose.
Clean out your ears. You're always hearing things.
Anyone sneaking about? Getting a promotion, I know. So you best stop groveling and give me your spare grog now.
I recognize that move. You wait,
Usurper! These towers will fall. Your pathetic army will fall. All who defy the Dark Lord will fall!
Did you hear that?
Kill everything! You have served Sauron once. You will serve him again. In life or in death. You will Let all see my power grow. The shadow shall burn.
You have abandoned all reason, elf. You cannot hope to stand against me. There is no victory for you. Yeah, there is only death.
You know who I am, Sauron. Do you not even dare say my name? You put too much of yourself into the One. You are right to fear me.
A hunter who's good at hell.
I shall purge this darkness. Cleansed by the light, a new army shall take hold. My army.
Oh man.
He's run off. It is good of you to call our weak. Now our strong shall repay you with death of your own.
Fool you are! Thinking to take us all on? Give you lots of bother, we will.
I will finish you off along with these insolent scum. None of you are fit to live.
I'm going to enjoy cutting you open in the name of our master. He comes back, I'll kill him then. Did you not see it? Oh, it's that one! He's there!
Is that it?
You were a fool to face an Uruk-hai standing.
Silverhand and
Supposed to be done with your game. Be done with your game.
Dark Lord. Two immortals locked in eternal battle within the shadow. The fate of all Middle Earth rests with you.
I've seen him! Get him! Next time I see him, he's dead.
Takra. Arkoth.
You hear about that captain they got set on fire? Yeah, he got the slaver killed too. I'm the best.
Game done? Alright, Broheim. What is this? What is this? That needs to be fixed? Go through your step before any more. Puppies! Are you letting me start reading? Let's do it. Just do that. There we go. I could just always mute it. I don't know why I just didn't think about muting the channel. I mean, maybe if we're doing Battle Project, it's the only time where that won't work. All right. Can you pass me my beverage? Or Charlie, since you're right there, can you pass me my beverage right there, please? Thanks, man. All right. Esther chapter 6, verse 1 to 11. Do right, man. King Jesus, for amazing. Thank you that through our lives and serving, we could declare to the Elohims that you reign and rule the rebels. You know, the rebels love having societies and environments where the poor and the weak are trampled on. But wow, when we look to you and cling to you, our hearts go towards the poor that are trampled on. So may we evermore cling and look to you. Amen. Esther chapter 6, verse 1 through 11. Do right, man. That night the king's sleep fled, and he said to bring the book of records, the annals, and they were read before the king. It was found written that Mordecai reported about Bigthana and Teresh, So, Duke can't sleep, and so he has the guy read him a very boring book of records. It was found written that Mordecai, so Mordecai, who Mordecai is? Remember who Mordecai is? He's like Esther's adopted father. Uncle, pretty much uncle father. So who is Mordecai? Yep. Who's Mordecai, Broheim? Okay. The king said, so the Mordecai reported it and pretty much prevented the assassination of the king. It was found written that Mordecai reported about Bigthana and Teresh to the king's eunuchs among the guards of the threshold, when they sought to lay hands on King Xerxes. The king said, what honor or promotion was there for Mordecai on account of this? The king's boys, his attendants, said nothing was done with him. The king said, who is in the courtyard? Now Haman had come into the outer courtyard of the king's house to say to the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had set up for him. The king boys said to him, there, Haman is standing in the courtyard. The king said, he is to come in. Haman came in, and the king said to him, what's to do with a man whom the king wants to honor? Haman said to himself, for whom would the king want to do honor more than me? So Haman said to the king, a man whom the king wants to honor, they should bring royal apparel that the king has worn, and the horse on which the king has ridden, and on whose head a royal crown has been put, and put the apparel and the horse in the charge of one of the king's noble officials. They should clothe the man whom the king wants to honor, have him ride on the horse through the city square, and proclaim in front of him, this is what is done for the man whom the king wants to honor. So Mordecai saved Xerxes, right? And so he's wondering how to honor Mordecai. And so he goes to Haman, who Haman is walking in about to say, let me kill Mordecai. But Xerxes asks Haman, what should I do for the man that I want to honor? And then Haman goes, you should put him on a chariot, make him rock your kingly clothes, and say, this dude has mad honor. And which Haman thinking it's going to be him, right? Getting mad honor. The king said to Haman, quick, get the apparel and the horse, as he spoke, and do so for Mordecai the Judahite, who sits in the king's gate. No word of all that you spoke should drop. So Haman got the apparel and the horse, clothed Mordecai, let him ride through the city square, and proclaimed in front of him, this is what is done for the man whom the king wants to honor. What a funny story. I acknowledge that there won't much to. I acknowledge that there won't seem to be much link between Mordecai and Eric Cantona, the French soccer star who played for Manchester United. But I was thinking about the link in bed last night after watching the movie Looking for Eric. The movie is about a Manchester fan called Eric Bishop whose life is sliding into calamity. Cantona appears to him and helps him find a way out of the mess he is in. Cantona talks about the way part of his inspiration in the game was to do something for the fans, to make something magical happen for them when he managed to score an amazing goal. The way soccer and some other spectator, thank you. The way soccer and some other spectator sports work is by fans identifying with the team so fully that they share in the team's achievements. And one can see this sense at work when Cantona scores and throws up his arms at the crowd, and the crowd roars with him. Bishop asked Cantona about his best ever moments, expecting him to say it was some spectacular goal, but Cantona identifies it as a pass he once offered a colleague that enabled this other player to score. The semblance of a link with Mordecai is that part of the background to Cantona's achievements and fame, so he claims anyway, is thus not his desire to serve himself, but his concern about other people. Back in chapter 2, we are told a story about Mordecai, the significance of which was not clear at the time. There was a plot against the king's life, and as a loyal member of his administration, Mordecai ensured that Xerxes got to know by telling Esther. If he did it to serve himself, he failed. The incident was recorded but forgotten. To set Aretha Franklin alongside Eric Katana, and Mordecai the Benjamite, if you want a do right all day woman, you got to be a do right all night man. But of course, it doesn't necessarily work, as it hasn't for Mordecai. Indeed, his second faithful action, the first was the adopting of Esther, was soon followed by the disastrous royal edict. Then one night the king can't sleep. To judge from what follows, the problem isn't that he can't get to sleep, but that he wakes up early and can't drop off again. And the image of his sleep fleeing fits with that idea. Understandably, he thinks that some reading from the royal archives may solve the problem and send him back to sleep. But the result is actually that he is reminded of Mordecai's action and of the fact that it never received its appropriate reward. The king's sleeplessness thus becomes the crucial turning point in the story. All right, I need you to set yourself, be able to see, my friend. Here we go. Oh, we can move this. In the destiny of the Jewish people in the context of the Persian Empire, everything depends on the king's sleepless nights. It is the crucial coincidence. People sometimes speak of God orchestrating events behind the scene of their lives, but the image is a misleading one. An orchestrator decides what happens and gets the orchestra to play together in accordance with the score of the chart. The Bible can certainly portray God doing so. The beginning of Ezra portrays God in this way, making it possible for Judahites to move to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple. But this is not the way it sees all God's involvement in events. While there in some sense in which God is sovereign in all events, sometimes its picture is more of God doing something creative with independent human actions with events after they happen. The original building of the temple was, in fact, not God's idea, but an idea of David's that God was not keen on. Yet God did something creative with it. You could call this harnessing rather than orchestrating. The distinctive feature of the Esther story is that omitting to mention God means one makes an overstatement even by talking in terms of harnessing. All you have is coincidence and people courageously taking responsibility. We may infer that the book assumes God's involvement in taking up the potential of Mordecai's doing the right thing and of Xerxes' sleeplessness. But the point the book overly makes is that we have to assume that truth or infer it. In experience, all we see is a coincidence. Haman gets caught by a further coincidence, this time laced with irony. He just happens to show up at this moment, presumably soon after the time when nighttime, when the king could not sleep, has given way to morning. As a senior member of the king's staff, he is the natural person to ask for advice on how to honor someone. Haman not only misunderstands the question, but turns it into a question whose implications are the exact opposite to what he would want and the exact opposite to the concerns about Mordecai with which he comes to the king. He ends up indeed elevating Mordecai, but not in the sense he desired. That is good. So you know how we talked about the pole that he wants to impale Mordecai is 5 to 7 stories. So he wanted to lift up Mordecai in impaling, but
not in this way.
yeah, it turns out, ironically, he lifts up Mordecai in honor. That is beautiful writing. All right, friends, we can start.
I'd bury you like the filth you are! You! Let's see what you've got. So far, I'm not impressed. You, maggot! Should have stayed in your grave, maggot. You'll be back there soon enough. It was suicide to face my master with me protecting him.
You serious? The last one.
And you will be dead. Think I'm simple?
Aye, aye,
Games
aye.
are lovely, it is.
The power of the One has given you dominion. Over the thoughts and minds of all enemy servants. You have become like Sauron himself.
Missing the fire! Know what you say? If he comes back, I'll kill him then. Hold on. Oh! Take him to the ground!
You maggot! I killed you. Now you're back. Just my rotten luck. You look in poor health. Shall I take care of you? Nobody will take care of you like me.
How dare you challenge me? How endure you destroy it again? Not tonight. Yeah.
Not that!
It's
like that! I know there's steps to that dance!
Never seen a soft skin return from the dead before. First time for everything, and a second time for you to die.
You are strong. You have a dark heart. Finish me, Evil One. Enough of suffer me now. In fact, you can't lose.
You cannot resist my power, Silverhand. I can feel your rage, your hate, your pride. Your flames feed nothing but evil.
You know nothing of true power, Sauron. The light will always prevail. All who resist will be burnt by it.
Disgusting! You're dead now!
Best weather for a good battle is what the menfolk call bad weather. A little rain and mud, and they can't even march. Any creature now. Got no bloody sympathy for old folk. He deserved to die. Serves him right when I'm being quicker with his sword. Kill the You're always so jumpy. Something just moved over there. I don't know what it was. Must have been nothing. Got me. A ghoul.
Vain usurper, fall on your knees before me, and I will make the deaths of your wife and child painless. They may return to the Western Shore as we stay here together.
You are the master of lies. You think I am fool enough to believe they still live? After what you did to Eregion? You will be banished to oblivion, while their spirits walk the Western Shore.
Cowards run away. Death to the enemy!
Bubble, bubble.
You won't pull me over! I think I saw him over there. Want to kill this guy. I've seen him! Chase him down! Time to rip you Enough games! Your kingdom was crushed beneath the might of our dominion! There is nothing left for you but cold death! I got you! You won't trick me! Kill the traitors! Meet my blade!
Oh man, last one.
That won't work on me! What's he doing?
Mordor will be mine. Behold my monuments of light. My power and grace will wash over this land.
Family will die. You will know nothing but hatred. In despair, you will know darkness.
I will know victory. I will know glory. I will know revenge. And you will know subjugation by my hand.
You, maggot! I thought you'd run all the way to the Great Sea the way you scarpered off. I'm glad you're still here.
want or I'll kill you! I've already foiled you once! Come closer!
Not yet. I never said
when he gets his first test in battle.
Run off.
Haven't seen our leader in ages. Where's he hiding? Rolled back under a rock with all the other maggots. Worst leader we've ever had. Oh, I found. He is proper and will be getting rid of the execution. Something just moved! Get him! I'll rise the beacon! Get to the beacon! Get the turncoats! Not the old arrows versus swords dribbling in.
You will never leave this land. I will bind your soul to Mordor. You will find no release, no peace, no victory. You will never see your family again.
Your friends turn to dust as I do. Everything from you. Your ring, your armies, your power, all mine!
Even so, stay on guard. run off! Your little rebellion is pathetic. For every traitor you turn, 10,000 Uruks wait to take his place. Take that fire! Up to me, is it? You're firstborn!
Try it again, Modo!
That coward ran away.
I am Lord here. These towers are built in my name. All here Celebrimbo and know their true master.
Next time I see
I will flay your corpse and mount it for all Mordor to see. Your skin will fly in the wind as a flag to your failure.
There will be no limit to my power. All will tremble before the white hand of Mordor. This war chief dares to shackle my followers. None but my enemies shall be imprisoned.
you smell blood around here.
No, you're imagining stuff again.
Oh, smells like carrion.
I want to trust those I fight alongside. If Uruk can't trust another Uruk, then he should.
After a battle, I need food and grog. Instead, we get nothing but closed doors.
You'll get a lot more nothing if you keep whining about it. He's right. Complaining makes you look weak.
I'll show you weak if you gobs don't shut up. see how these fools like it. But I've tied him up. Guts!
Wait! Got no bloody sympathy for Ulfric. He deserved to die.
I thought I was still from hanging. Kill him and sort it out. That coward ran away. That pigskin is long gone. Why is it a cook big thing does nothing but fire? Don't you move!
What's up, Emily? So I didn't kick you. If you read the terms, you have to agree to them. So when you join, you have to actually click accept. It's like terms and conditions. Like you're at least 14, yada yada yada. It protects us from bots and minors from joining. So once you go into the server, there's so go to member. Oh, is it seriously member journal? Oh yeah, so you click the reaction, the white check mark by the Carl bot, and member announcement. So yeah. Oh yeah, under 13. There you go.
Cowards run away. Attack! Someone's sneaking up. Wait on your neck.
Well, how I have it set up is
Your kind is
gotta send me a friend request.
I knew you would come to rescue this filth. There is no room for weakness in Mordor. We will eradicate you.
Actually, I tried responding and just said I need a friend request.
You still want to fight? Fix it, just moved. Taste sights! We must arrive. Wait. Smell something.
Oh, perfect. Gonna accept it. There we go.
Try again!
Have you finally tired of sneaking around in the shadows?
You won't catch me!
More meat for me, eh? I'll make you all scream!
It's good stuff. Oh, what? Welcome.
What did he just do? You'll see what pain is when my mates get here.
me, Elf King? I will not submit. He's
Is there any chance to get some commission work? Yeah. Like I said earlier, like I'm focusing on all my money is just going towards
Your victories are hollow.
upgrading my sub right now.
Step you take
I have a couple
brings you
generational
closer
stuff.
to your doom.
You speak from fear. Udun slips from your fingers so easily. There is nothing I cannot take from you.
Oh yeah. At this very moment, there's maybe before we leave for Thailand, maybe like after I have all my. Because since we're moving to Thailand, as missionaries, I'm making everything mobile. Like I have a huge desktop, and so it's just like due to that reality, everything's changing. And I'm talking about like a year or so from now. Because maybe I want to revamp things before relamp my image, or my logo and stuff like that before we leave.
I will force the light into these Uruks. They will forsake their war chief.
Here I am talking with the microphone muted. Yeah, I'm just thank you so much for the deal and the offer. It's just, you know, like I'm upgrading my monitors. Like, yeah, just any sort of upgrade isn't in the plan.
Turn. He will forsake Sauron. All will serve me.
done, you say.
Someone sneaking about.
Yeah. Because at this very moment, I already have that kind of stuff. And so if I'm going to... If I'm going to... When I actually do it, it'll be a full makeover.
That coward ran away.
thank you for understanding, and definitely hold you in high regard whenever that's a reality. Whenever I get there.
Once you've got to where he is, like brute strength.
Push him down!
If he comes back, I'll kill him then. I'll see what two got into. What was that? Always so jumpy. Captain ordered me off on a catapult. Saw you practicing. I need to drink this. It's bleeding tricks. Back to work then. Someone's sneaking about. The pigskin is long gone. A well-trained hunter makes a perfect killing machine. Have you lot no freedom?
Actually,
I know you're here.
Okay.
tiny insurrections
Sorry
are
to see
a
you. I don't know
joke.
if you're still there, but you have a good one. Anyways, thank you for coming back.
Face your end.
Peace, my friend. Ooh, yeah, we'll love to try some. Yep. Thank you, Suiku. Gosh, that brings me back to San Diego. That's the flavor I will. Robin. That's childhood right there. Ah, good burn.
Crush. Nazdu. Skak.
Now you find out what real trouble is. Wait, fight me place of play. Maggots! Stupid Glob wants to kill Master. Glob will die. You have power.
Sauron's a watching, yes he is. Always a watching.
Kill that bird now.
Skak.
I'll cut you open along with any Uruk that gets between us. Let's see which of you bleeds out first.
I'm gonna give you a little something extra for all the trouble you caused.
if you must, but I will never serve filth like you. Sauron is Lord, and your followers will suffer. Traitor!
You are powerless to stop the darkness. You will become what you seek to destroy.
Power cannot lead only to darkness. The light of Eregion will shine anew in the land of shadow.
How can we be out of food again? I thought we could go a few days without going on another hunt. Look upon these war chiefs. They rose to greatness by serving the Dark Lord, but they betrayed us. Now they will die on their knees, like the true cowards they are.
Sauron means to show his power by executing my war chiefs. I will not let this pass. I will humiliate all who defy me.
Look up above!
Cowards run away.
it! We will end your terror in Mordor! We will end your evil!
Tombhorn. Stupid thief! You stole from the Dark Lord! Your confusion on Uruks! You're a monster!
Come closer! You're alone! Will you give me the choice of death? Or will you corrupt me too?
Touch me with your wicked magic! Enough! I will end you myself. Nothing will prepare you for what comes next. Come, face me, Sauron! Let us end this once and for all! You will be destroyed!
All right, friends, that's it for right now. Catch you guys later. Peace. We fast travel, so my progress is saved.